Hi friends, today we are going to see demo on various aspects of database replication. In this demo, we are going to cover the database replication, its initial setup and the behavior in general. So before we start with the demo, I'd just like to draw your attention. If you have not seen my recent blog on database replication, I would request you to please have a look. So before we start with actual demo, I just wanted to give you the overview of what we are going to do in this demo. So as you have seen in my blog, that these are the high level steps which we are going to cover for database replication. So on the primary account or the source account, there are two things which we have to do. One, we need for one, we have to enable the account. For that we need account for replication. For that we need the org admin role, because you can only enable the account for replication using org admin role. And then we need the account admin role to identify the primary database. So basically that's which database you want to replicate. And then you have to enable the replication for said database to the secondary account. So that's the steps which we are going to cover on the primary account. And on the secondary account, where you want to get the secondary copy, so you have to, basically it's just, you already know which database you are replicating to secondary. So basically you are going to create the replica of that database. So before you create the replica, you need to create a compute, or basically the warehouse, which we will use for all our compute in general, but not for the replication, because for replication Snowflake use their own Snowflake provided compute, which is known as a replication. So when we run this replication task, we will see that we will see one replication warehouse has been created on the background. So we don't have any control on that Snowflake provided warehouse, but we will use our warehouse for all the queries and everything, because to run anything on Snowflake we need any query, we need compute. So we will use this warehouse for all the execution, query, and all those process. We are going to create a task. So I will show you how you can automate your scheduling or automate your execution of the refresh on a frequency. And we will also see how you can monitor, but that will be covered on a separate demo. So let's start with the demo. So basically, if you see, this is my primary account, and I'm going to use the role org admin. So you can see on the top, we are using the role account admin. And at the moment, you don't see any database, anything created on my initial primary account. So first we will see what all organization account I have. So this is my primary account as well as my organization account, where I am the org admin and I can see all the accounts within this organization. So if you see this image, this is an organization, and within this organization there can be multiple account. So this diagram is just showing you high level primary account and secondary account, but there can be multiple account altogether. So this is just, so if we run the show organization, you will see that here we have 4 different accounts. But for this demo, I'm going to use this account, which is my primary account, and I'm going to use this secondary account because this is on different region. My primary account is in AWS Europe West 2, and my secondary account is in Azure UK South. So basically it's across environment, across region, but both are on business critical edition. We are also going to see another cool thing is basically how you can replicate the data into the lower environment. So basically my primary is in business critical, and I'm going to also enable the replication on a standard account. So basically this is on the lower edition, and we will see how we can do that. Okay, so let's start with the demo. So I am currently on the org admin role. You have already seen. So to enable the app replication, so first we have to enable the account for replication. So for that we have to use this function, system global account set parameter. So basically this is the function which will enable the account level parameter and this is the parameter which enable or turns on the replication between different accounts. So enable account database replication and mark it as true. So this is the first thing you have to do as a org admin role. Without enabling this account level parameter, you will not able to do any kind of replication activity. So before running this, if you run show replication account, you will not see anything, no record, because there is no account enabled for replication. But after running this, so basically you will see that I have enabled my primary account, secondary account, and then secondary with the standard edition. So I'm enabling the replication for all the account. So if I enable this, so all are executed successfully. You can see the success message over here. If I now run the show replication account, you will see now 3 account has been enabled for the replication, and all the 3 account details are now visible. You can also see that is org admin is true only for my primary account and other 2 are false, which says like this is my primary account and other 2 are my means like this is my primary account with org admin enabled, but other 2 are non-org admin account. Basically these are the normal accounts and these are the account which is also having the power of org admin. So all the other account I can't enable the org admin. Now if I go and share like show replication database, it will show me all the, it will not show me anything at the moment because I have not enabled the replication at the database level, because at the moment I don't have any database setup or anything. But once I enable that in means like in another part, then you will start seeing like all the database which has been enabled for the replication. So this is the very first initial step which will just enable the org admin role, use the org admin role and enable the replication. That's it. Now if we go here and let's do quickly set up one database for replication. So for this I'm just going to use the account admin and my existing warehouse on the primary account, and I'm just going to create okay, so I have to first switch the role to org admin. I can't do it because I have created folder. So let me do this. Now you can see that the context has been set with the account admin role in the compute. Now I'm going to create a database for this demo, and I'm going to create a schema and I'm going to use the same. So let me quickly do that. Let me refresh and see that database and the schema and everything is in place. So at the moment there is nothing on the database and the schema level. So let's create a dummy table called employee and create some dummy data and create also a view on top of that table. So now if I go and refresh, you will see that table started appearing on the left hand side and also the view. And also I'm going to create some file format as well as in one internal stage just for the sake of this demo. So now if I refresh, you will see the stage also started appearing over here, right? Now what I'm going to do is like I already created a base database which I'm going to replicate to the secondary account. Let me just quickly show you on the secondary account. This is my secondary account. If you can see the secondary, and in this secondary account I'm using the account admin role, and you can see there is no database at the moment. Let's go back to my primary account, and here I'm just going to use the role account admin, and at the moment we'll see that we have already seen that these are the replication account enabled. Now we will enable the replication for the primary and secondary, both the account. So now if I go and see the replication database, so let me quickly share. So what was the syntax? Show replication database, replication database or databases. Databases. So now you can see that the database for replication is enabled. This is the primary database, and this is the replication database, right? So now we can also see that we have enabled. Now if we try to do the same thing for the lower edition, let's see whether it will allow you to do that or not. So it will give me an error which says like the following account are on the edition lower than business critical, because my primary account is on the business critical and this is on the standard edition. So by default Snowflake stops you to replicate any higher edition data to lower edition account, but you on your own will you can add this ignore edition check syntax while enabling, so it will inform Snowflake to bypass this check. So if I do this now, it's successfully done. So if I go here and again do the show replication database, now you will see that this is the name of the database. Let me just close this. My primary database is this, and my replication allowed to account is all the three. So this is my primary, this is my secondary, and this is secondary standard. Now if I go to my secondary database, we can use the role account admin, which is already set up over here, and I already had a secondary warehouse created, but if you have not created the warehouse, you can create the warehouse, because this is going to be used for all the execution, so for all the compute. So I already had this warehouse, so this is showing me that it's already exist. Now if I go and say like show replication database on the secondary account, it is showing me that these are the details. Let me just close this a bit. Now you can see this is the account name, this is the database name, so this is the primary. So you can see the details are already available over here, so you can see. But now to create the database, so let me just go here and show you one more thing. Like at the moment there is no database, right? So if I go and create a replica, so how we can create the replica is basically it's a simple create database name and then as replica of the primary details. So basically it's recommended to keep the database name same for the primary and the secondary, so that if you have a full name convention in your object level, like database name dot schema name or the object name, then you still follow the same in the secondary account. Else if you keep the different name on the secondary account, it will start breaking your thing in the secondary database, because it will not file the reference of the with the same name. So we are just going to create, so you can see this is my organization name, this is my account name, and this is my database name. So I'm going to create the database in the secondary account. Now if I refresh, you will see that the database replication has been created as a replica, but you can see that it has not been created like schema which I have created over here. So if you see here, I have a schema called source schema, but at the moment that there is no source schema over here, which means no replication has happened yet, and it has just created the replica of the database. So as a container has been created, but the replication has not yet happened until we do the initial refresh manually or automatically. So how to do the refresh is basically you have to do certain steps. Because my database is very small, I'm not going to do all these steps, but I have just given here just to make you inform that you need to take care of all these things. Basically it depends upon your database sizes. You might have to alter some of the session level parameters so that your refresh statement which is executing, it's not going to be timeout. So by default statement timeout in second is for I think 2 days or something. So you might have to do it for 7 days. Similarly, you have to alter the warehouse and do the same statement timeout in second, update it from smaller amount to bigger amount. If your database is big, it might take more than 2 days to replicate. Just an example. So you might do that, but for in my case it's very small, I don't need them, so I'm just not doing anything. but you can do based on your requirement. So now I'm going to just do the alter database name and refresh. And once I do that, you will see that the new schema started appearing on the left hand side. So once this is completed, I will do the refresh on the left hand side. So now this is completed successfully. If I go here, you will see the source schema started appearing, and the employee table has 3 rows, and this is the view. Now if I want to query this, I want to preview the data, I can see the data because this view is on top of the this base table only. And if I want to see the stage, I think I have created one stage as well. So let's see. So stages, let's see if we see the stage over here. No stages, because stages are not copied. That was the reason I created a stage, because internal stage are not copied or not replicated into the secondary account. But if you have created the external stage, it will get replicated to the secondary account. So this is one of the demo which I wanted to cover. In general, how database application work, how you can create the initial setup. So we have covered this org admin role. So we have enabled the account for the replication. Then we identify the primary database. We enable the replication. And on the secondary, we created the warehouse. We created a replica. We did the refresh. And monitoring part we will cover on the another demo. Hope you like this demo. And if you like this demo, please subscribe to my channel and follow my blogs. Thank you.